During the period traditionally associated with the life of Abraham, there was no standardized calendar among the Abrahamic tribes. The concept of a calendar with months and years, as we understand it today, was developed much later in history. In ancient times it is said that the Abrahamic tribes in the region where Abraham lived used a lunar calendar based on the phases of the moon. Specific details about the calendar used by Abraham and his tribes are not explicitly explained in religious texts. The information provided about Abraham and his ancestors or lineage is given in relation to the phases of the moon. There is a possibility that the calculations, such as considering each phase of 30 days as a year or age as seen in statements like, "This person lived 950 years," or "That person lived 640 years," may be attempts by the Hebrews to present themselves as more ancient, older, and the original founders. This could be a form of manipulation. According to Genesis 5:5, Adam is said to have lived for 930 years, actually 77 years. Adam's son, Seth, is said to have lived for 912 years according to Genesis 5:8, actually 76 years. Seth's son, Enosh, is reported to have lived for 905 years according to Genesis 5:11, actually 75 years. Enosh's son, Kenan, is said to have lived for 910 years according to Genesis 5:14, actually 75 years. Kenan's son, Mahalalel, is reported to have lived for 895 years according to Genesis 5:17, actually 74 years. Mahalalel's son Jared is said to have lived for 962 years according to Genesis 5:20, actually 80 years. Jared's son Enoch is a rare example who did not die but was taken by God at the age of 365, Genesis 5:23-24, actually 29 years. Enoch's son Methuselah is famously known for having lived for 969 years according to Genesis 5:27, making him the longest-lived person mentioned in the Bible. Actually 80 years. Methuselah's son, Lamech, is said to have lived for 777 years according to Genesis 5:31, actually 64 years. Lamech's son, Noah, is said to have lived for 950 years according to Genesis 9:29, actually 79 years.